What is the business of government in renovating churches and buying them musical instruments? What is the business of government in renovating mosques and building Islamia schools?
In a nation grappling with inflation, unemployment, and dwindling public resources, government spending continues to come under increasing public scrutiny. When such spending involves religion in a country as diverse as Nigeria, the debate often becomes even more intense. A provision of 8.5 billion naira in the 2026 budget for the renovation of mosques, construction and rehabilitation of Islamia schools, renovation of residences of Islamic scholars, and the purchase of musical instruments for churches has sparked widespread public discussion. An analysis of the 2026 budget by Tracker, Budget Project Tracking and Accountability Initiative, shows that the allocation covers 59 religious infrastructure projects across several states. The projects are to be implemented through various ministries, departments and agencies, including some whose core mandates appear unrelated to the construction of places of worship. The budget includes provision for the construction of new mosques and churches, renovation of existing worship centers, installation of solar power systems, provision of boreholes, furnishing of religious buildings, rehabilitation of Islamia schools attached to mosques, fencing of worship centers, and the construction of residences for imams. Although both Christian and Muslim communities are beneficiaries, some Nigerians have expressed concerns over the nature, scale, and distribution of the projects. Others question whether public resources should be directed towards religious infrastructure when many communities continue to face challenges in healthcare, education, roads, and security. The True Vision team took to the streets of Abuja to get the views of residents.
Religion is a personal thing to every individual Nigerian. We are in a secular state for God's sake. Government has no business in allocating money on renovation of churches and mosques. It is a diversionary tactic. It is, in fact, it's because they are short of idea and they don't know what they are doing. We have a lot of churches in Nigeria like the Redeem, Winners, that are even providing social service to the nation. The same thing mosques, the same system of Islamic organization. So what is the business of government in allocating funds for renovating of mosques when we are in a secular state? If care is not taken, I know very soon the traditionalists, they will take the federal government to court. Because we are in a secular state. They cannot be talking of Muslim and Christian while leaving the traditional worshippers out of it. It is discriminatory. So it is highly unreasonable when we have a lot of pressing things that require government attention. For example, our hospital, our security personnel. You can now see that police are being on protest for since last year. Over this issue of poor remuneration. The government is not addressing that.
Nigeria is not 100% secular state. Because if you look at the object of nation building and also development, in the sense of it, you have the church has been the instrument where the education was developed. The modern Nigeria, even the modern northern Nigeria, was found on the pillar of Islam. So if you look at it, what the government has, what they are in our country in pretense have done, is that they have taken the real object that brought about nationality in Nigeria. I feel that the religion has come to play in our society. We can't do anything about religion. What we can do about it, because every one of us, when it is on, after weekend, Sunday we close. On Friday we close to mosque. Then we do what is the integral part of ourselves. That means that religion is the opium of the mind. They were the pillars before the European colonies came. They are the ones that settle domestic problems. So they are an integral part of development. I believe that this design, actually by the government, my own opinion, is a way of winning votes. You understand? That is my own opinion. So if you want to win vote, it's only where you are popular. where you can gain popularity, you bring your money to. Is a human.
This religion that we even took on our hand as if it is we can only the West hand that brought all this into us. Arab, that's the Islamic from Arab, the missionary from the West. And do they go to church? Are they not better than us? Are they not their minds? Are they not reformed than Nigerian? That's our problem with this church. And we are claiming we are holy. Are we really holy? I would be surprised if government is budget the whole budget for church and the mosque now. That's how we are. But we are not really holy. If a church raises enough money, let them build whatever they want to build. What's the business of the government in building churches, building mosques? It's foolishness. It's misplaced priorities. Simple. I think the government is confused. I think they really need to sit up.
It's a waste of resources because one, what does the church contribute to the growth, development of the society, of the country itself? You see so many praying centers, churches, mosques, everywhere, praying every day. Contributing that kind of huge amount of money to the churches for renovation of churches and mosques, to me, is a waste of resources. Why can't we contribute that money to youth empowerment?
Public affairs analyst Mr. Jide Ojo says government spending should reflect the most pressing needs of the people. According to him, transparency, public consultation, and measurable impact should guide every expenditure.
It is unacceptable. It is ill-conceived. It is inhuman. It is ungodly. We are even talking of 30.15 billion that were earmarked for renovation of palaces of traditional rulers across the country. Then this 8 billion you are talking about for renovation of worship centers. 30 billion can help to give facelift to our social amenities, hospitals, schools, rural road infrastructure. There is no business that the government should have on religion beyond regulation. Regulating them, making sure that they are in full compliance with the secularity of Nigerians. No persecution, no inhuman treatment, no extrajudicial killing, protection of all religion. That's the role of government. Anything outside of that, sponsoring people on holy pilgrimages, should be discontinued. Renovating religious worship center. I saw the rebuttal of Deputy Speaker to the House of Reps. What is his name? Benjamin Kalu, saying, "Oh, the money is 1 billion. It is 780 million." Even if it's 780 million, what is the business of government in renovating churches and buying them musical instruments? What is the business of government in renovating mosques and building Islamia schools? This 60-something billion budget of 2026, half of it is on deficit that we are borrowing to fund. These monies were actually hidden in NDAs that also don't have the mandate for that, for those interventions. Imagine Minister of Livestock Development. You are putting 1 billion or 2 billion for renovation of mosque in Zamfara. What is the connection of Minister of Livestock Development to building and renovation of mosque? Is there anywhere in the law or act that set up that ministry, department or agency that says that they will have the mandate to build or renovate worship centers or the palaces of traditional rulers?
Legal practitioner Barrister Fatai Abiodun says the legality of such spending depends on its purpose, implementation, and whether it complies with constitutional principles of neutrality and equal treatment of citizens.
I think the Nigerians who have been fooled for so long, hiding under the misconception that Nigeria is a secular state. Nigeria is a secular state does not mean that religion, does not mean that the Constitution does not recognize religion. It's only secular because you must not place one above another. So that is why Section 10 Constitution, in fact, forbid discrimination on the aspect of religion. Religion appear in Constitution not more than once. The idea of whether the funding of churches and mosques, whether it's equivalent to a public service, is the question for being. Remember, the National Assembly has the statutory power to make laws for the good governance of the state. And by virtue of analysis that was given by the Deputy Speaker, he said the funding of church, renovation of churches equipment was aimed to reduce violence, sexual harassment in the society. So the thing has been attributed to public good, because anything that reduce sexual violence, anything that reduce drug abuse, anything that could reduce menace in society should be a public good, should be political public good. The National Assembly have the right to make laws, and they have made that laws by the budget, and it has been duly passed. So it is no longer whether it is valid or not. In fact, spending on that money is valid because the money budgeted for it was validly budgeted.
Okay,
so it is less for Nigerians who believe that it does not, spending in that favor does not amount to public good, to approach the court and for the court to give an interpretation for what has really happened. I think there is a need to actually ask for court determination to interpret whether funding of mosque or funding of church, whether it amounts to public good. So until when there's a court order, court declaration on this matter, then we cannot really say that funding of religion is not part of public good.
This is not the first time government spending on religious activities has generated public controversy. For instance, a federal government allocation of 90 billion naira for Hajj in 2024 attracted widespread criticism from many Nigerians who view the expenditure as unnecessary. Similarly, in an editorial published on January 26, 2026, titled "Stop Subsidizing Pilgrimages with Public Funds," the Punch newspaper criticized the provision of 11.5 billion naira in the 2026 budget for pilgrimages. According to the newspaper, federal and state governments reportedly spent about 120 billion naira sponsoring Christian and Muslim pilgrimages between 2022 and 2024. The newspaper argued that government sponsorship of religious pilgrimages is both excessive and inconsistent with the spirit of Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution, which states that neither the federal nor state government shall adopt any religion as a state religion. For his part, Dr. Usman Bugaji, a former special advisor to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, has consistently maintained that government should withdraw from sponsoring pilgrimages. Bugaji, a respected religious scholar, historian and politician, argues that religion is a personal matter and should remain within the private sphere, while government concentrates its resources on critical sectors of national development. Thus, beyond the debate over churches and mosques lies a broader national conversation about accountability, equity, and responsible governance. While opinions remain divided, many Nigerians agree that transparency and fairness should guide the management of public resources. Whether these allocations will ultimately achieve their intended objectives remains a matter of public discussion, highlighting the continuing challenge of balancing faith, governance, and development in a plural society. In Abuja, I am Iberi Anebo for True Vision Television.